Going on YouTube? I am back with another video today talking about how to get you more width in your backswing to swing faster. Let's get into it. It is super important in your golf swing to have a lot of width. What that means is essentially how far away your hands are and the club is from your body. So to gain more speed, have more width in your swing. The reason for this is if you think of range of motion, you're going to have more range of motion, you're going to have more of an arc, which can generate more speed. For a very brief example, picture a person that's relatively short. Just say a person who's maybe even middle school, high school, like a 5 foot tall person. That person has a lot less chance of swinging fast than a person who would be just say 6'3". The person at 6'3" has a lot more of a wingspan, is a lot taller, so they can bring that club around a lot more, so that has more time to generate speed. So whatever height you are, not talking bad about anybody of any height, it is really important that you start trying to max out how much arc you can have in your golf swing by being wider so that you can be as fast as you can be. When trying to create width in your backswing, it is very important to actually feel like this club head is going straight backwards on the takeaway. One of the things that I like to do the most is take a golf ball and put it right behind the club. What you want to do is actually brush that golf ball back on your takeaway. This helps reinforce actually bringing it straight back. We talk about this on reducing a flat swing, but essentially a flat swing as well has less arc, because look how close the club is from me versus how close the club is from me now. It's a lot further away. So you can do that, as well as just grab a tee here and put a tee straight behind the golf ball and think that you're trying to bring this club head straight back to that tee and keep it as far away from your body as possible. Think about the end of the golf club being a poisonous snake. If you grab a poisonous snake with a claw or something like that, you're going to want to keep that thing as far away from you as possible. Try to picture that on your golf swing. So on your backswing, keep that width. Keep your arms straight as long as you can before you inevitably will break your arms so that you can get into the proper positions, but you have now created width in your backswing. A lot of people on their backswing will get to the top and end up collapsing their arms in because they don't have enough mobility to actually stay wide. The best thing that you can possibly do to hit the ball further is work on, well, one of the best things is work on your range of motion, because the more range of motion that you have, the more potential for speed that you have. So even if you aren't somebody who necessarily has issues keeping it wide, it's very important that you increase your mobility so that you can be even wider. Now, if you are somebody that has a problem with being wide, it is also very important that you work on your mobility so that you can stay wide. So a lot of people will get to the top and inevitably collapse. Now all of a sudden their hands are really close to their body, so now they're losing that arc and that rotation. And then they start feeling stuck on their swing because their hands are so close to their body that they can't really do anything from this position. Hands moving from a position up here to down here have the potential to generate this club head a lot more speed than hands from here to here do. What happens is when you try to get more and more of a backswing, when your shoulders can't move anymore, your arms will inevitably collapse to try to get this club to parallel, just past parallel. So people that struggle with actually getting into that position, their shoulders are gonna stop moving, their arms are gonna keep moving, they're gonna start collapsing. Realistically, this could be fixed if they increase their turn because of a mobility issue so that their arms can stay in a better position, but they don't have to sacrifice either having a short backswing or collapsing their arms to get that more length. So today I'm going to give you a short daily mobility routine that you need to be doing every single day to actually increase the length of your backswing, create more width, and also create an easier turn so that you're not sacrificing length by collapsing, can keep yourself in better positions, but still increase your range of motion. So the first thing that I want you to do is grab your golf club and put one hand on each side of it. This can be done with an iron or a driver, it does not matter. What I want you to do is set up like you're going to hit the ball and start your rotation and just turn. I want you to do that multiple times. I would suggest doing 2 sets of 10 reps. You can also start doing it a little bit faster the more you go, and then remember, you want to stay even, so do it on your other side as well as if you're a left-handed golfer. Now, I don't want you just to go back and forth with it though. while this is very good, and you can use this to start loosening up your back, it's not necessarily the same motion as your golf swing because your arms aren't going to be straight down on the follow-throughs. We are looking to create more width and create more length. So on your backswing, when I'm talking about keeping your arms straight to create more width, to focus on the turn being here, that's essentially what we're mimicking here with straight arms. Turning, you have to stay wide. You can't then collapse. So all of the turn is coming from your chest. Just breaking it down to be your backswing only allows you to focus on this turn, as well as you can start focusing on actually loading your right side. So it's a double whammy, because now we're focusing on a wider turn, we're focusing on not collapsing our arms, and we're focusing on loading our trail side. This is also a great time to start working on whatever moves that you're trying to work on. So I said loading your right side, but likewise we can work on our arm path. So if you're a flat swing golfer where your backswing would look like this, you can see that my right arm is not anywhere near on top of my left. So you can start bringing it back to where you're stacking this club more vertically on the backswing. Obviously a straight up and down swing would look like this. We're not necessarily looking for that. But if you can find a happy medium of how you want your left arm to actually move on your backswing and your right arm, this is a great drill to reinforce that while you are also working on keeping a little bit wider of a backswing, working on your range of motion, and working on your mobility. The next one is using a band to strengthen the same range of motion. So put a band around your wrist, and it's the same thing when you're holding the golf club, you're more pushing inward. Now we're working on some external force, some external rotation force, I should say, so that you're in this position and then you are starting to rotate. The difference is, again, the golf club you're pushing in to hold it in place in turning, so it's focused more on the mobility aspect of it, whereas this one's focusing more on the strengthening aspect of it through that range of motion. So we're working on external rotating your shoulders to hold this band in place, keep it there, and work on the turn. Now we're working on being strong in this position, which will allow us to inevitably be more effective in a wide position. Do the same thing, you want to go both ways with it, so that you can even out your body and stay relatively similar. The third exercise involves a foam roller. So now we've worked on actually creating more width, but now we're going to go back to a little bit of the root cause of that, which is T-spine mobility. So to work on your T-spine mobility, I want you to get down on your foam roller, but I want you to lay on it just like this. We want to be running up and down your spine. We're going to make sure that our head is actually touching it. Feet are firmly planted on the ground. From here, the first thing I want you to do is just hang out. I want you to have your palms up and down. And all we're doing is opening up our chest for this. It's great to start here. You could even spend like 5 minutes a day here. It's just really opening up your chest, making sure that your shoulders aren't tight, making sure your chest isn't tight. Really just feel like you're sinking into the foam roller. That's not the exercise, however. Now what I want you to do is cross your arms and start working your knees one way as you are turning the other way. So as my knees are going to the right, my upper body is going to the left, and I'm working on the mobility of my spine, moving both directions. Some people like to do this without moving their knees as well, which is okay. You can just move your upper body and just stabilize with your legs. I feel a really great stretch, and I feel like my spine becomes very mobile when I'm moving both my knees, legs, and my upper body. So here's what that looks like again. Get a big deep stretch both ways. You're essentially just working on the mobility of your spine and how it is properly moving. So a more advanced version of that T-spine mobility starts with being on all fours. From this position, I want you to make sure that your back is relatively straight and you're focusing on opening up your shoulders. I've done this quite a bit on this channel because this is one of my favorite exercises to do before I actually swing, but I do this daily to make sure that my back is mobile, staying very loose and increasing my range of motion. You can sit here and do 10 reps each way if you would like. Or you can alternate going 1 to each side. You can do it slow and controlled, where you're just focusing on turning your spine and opening up, and really focusing on opening yourself up. Or once you get a little bit more mobile, you can start doing it a little bit quicker, where you're really focusing on turning a little bit more fast and aggressive to help increase that range of motion. I would recommend that you do about 10 each way. Typically we'll do 2 sets every single day. So we just talked about one limiting part of actually having a wide backswing, which is your T-spine mobility. The other aspect can also be a lat tightness. When your lats are very tight, you have an issue actually fully extended here, because that's creating separation in your lats, which is why a lot of people who have really big chests or really tight lats, instead of getting wide, they feel the need to turn this way in a more flat backswing, which again limits your width. So we're looking for staying wide. So in order to do that, daily it is awesome to actually start stretching your lats and creating a lot of mobility in this area. You can do that by, after doing your all fours rotation exercise, you can start sliding one arm under your other arm and just focus on really pulling this area. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can do this as, again, a spine movement where you're really focused on rotating your back, or you can focus on driving your arm down, butt back, and you're making sure that you feel it all in your lat. I'll typically hold this for about 10 seconds each side for little burst stretches, and then I'll do about 3 sets each. And then come up and go for 10 more seconds. So another exercise that you can do to stretch your lats out is just grab your golf club. From here, you can use it as a support, which you can use an iron or a driver. Be careful if it is your driver. And you'll just start stretching your lats out just like this. Now you don't want to put a ton of force on the top of your club, so if you grab it down the shaft a little bit more, that's okay. You just want to think butt back, arms forward. You should really feel a massive stretch right along your lat and lower sides. If you're worried about your club, you can also go do it on basically anything. So grab a wall, grab a door frame, and you can come right in here and just stretch it out. Awesome drill for creating separation, because now when you're in this position, you can tell that if I just stood up and I put my arm in the backswing, that's exactly the position we're looking to be in. We're looking to have that width, we're looking to have a wide backswing. To do that, we have to have very mobile and flexible lats. Why all those exercises are really important to do daily is because width is going to be one of the biggest factors in if you can generate speed and if you're generating the max speed that you can. If you have limited range of motion in your T-spine, you're only going to be able to come back to about there. If you have any hopes of getting your club to parallel, you're going to have it be coming from your elbows. You don't want your speed to be coming from your elbows, because if that is how your swing actually looks, you're going to end up generating a swing that has speed about like this. It's very armsy because you're not getting a full turn. I'm gonna try that one more time. So if your range of motion is limited in your backswing and your elbows are responsible for all the speed, you're gonna end up with a swing that looks a lot like that. And that's kind of where your ceiling is gonna be. Now, likewise, if you are able to get a little bit more of a turn, but you still get to the top and you're collapsing, so you're gonna end up looking kind of like this, where you can generate more speed, but you're still limited because of how far away your hands are from your body, because you have lack of width. So you get more speed from that, but again, when your hands collapse, all of a sudden this width is stuck in this motion versus being able to be out here and generate a lot more speed. Generate a lot more speed coming from here close to your body than here close to your body, because you already start close to your body. If you're suffering lat tightness, you might be trying to get this range of motion, you're not be able to create width in your backswing because your lats are tight, your chest is tight, and all of a sudden you're turning like this, and in this form, now you're creating less width because it's going around your body versus up top. And you will still limit your speed with that. So I'm gonna go one more on that. So while that is faster because you're getting more turn, you're still limiting your speed. And when you put it all together and start doing these stretches and exercises daily, you'll be able to create more width on your swing, and that is what's responsible for effortless speed. More range of motion, more arc automatically gives you more speed. So we just stretched everything out. We're thinking wide in the backswing to have as much range of motion as possible, but we're not limited in our T-spine mobility, we're not limited from our lat throwing across our body, and we're not limited by severely collapsing our arms to get the range of motion. All of that together is what equals a fast and effortless swing. Significantly better, a lot more speed with relatively the same amount of effort in each swing. Guys, that is it for today. I hope you start implementing these exercises to do daily so that you can increase your flexibility in your lats, increase the mobility in your T-spine, and also create more width in your backswing to swing faster and stay healthy while doing it. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section below, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.